All right, day two. If you didn't watch the first half, we got into building a Node.js and WebSockets to be able to pipe in the data. This is a DJI Tello drone, and IBM is giving away 2,000 of them. It says 1,500, but they increased it to 2,000. And we are building a remote, and exactly what you see here, totally in JavaScript. So if you missed the first part, go back and watch it. Otherwise, let's jump into a little bit more of the React-y side of things. All right, it's the next day, and I've got all of the data strolling in here. So now I want to figure out, can I build a whole bunch of React components that's first going to be able to visualize some of this data. If we take a look at the docs here, they explain that you have the pitch, the roll, the yaw. That's the three axes that this thing can be rotated on. I'm also interested in the temperature, since this thing overheats, the battery, the height, and maybe some of the other stuff. So I'm going to build out a couple of React components just to display that. And then I'm going to work on actually using this controller. Let's try it one more time just before we get going. Oh! And land. Almost died. All right, so I've got the battery being piped in. Just take a look at the code real quick here. I just have a React component here that takes in a prop called battery and then displays that value. I pass that value to a style component, and I set the height of it to be the level that it is. It's just also displayed as flex in column reverse, and that will make sure that it sticks to the bottom of the element rather than the top. And then I also change the background to be red if it's less than 20%. So I know that I'm running out of battery in there. It just went down to 69%. So that worked really well. Next, I'm going to try to get the roll, tilt, and yaw visualized somehow. All right, so I have the little rotation thing working. So I've taken the roll, pitch, and yaw values, and I'm just rotating this div. It's not perfect because, like, if it's upside down, you can't see the back of it. But ideally, you do this sawing in like a 3D canvas or whatever. But I think it's kind of a quick little way to visualize where the drone is. I'm gonna try to set it off right now. So take off. Let's see. Okay. And if I go down, back. Let's see if I touch it, if it rolls. Did it roll on the screen? Let's see. Oh, it landed by itself. If you don't send it any commands for 15 seconds, it will self-land, which is kind of a nice little feature. All right, I need to do like the temperature, but I don't really care about that. It's not that exciting. I want to do the controls. So I think what I'm going to do is work on the forwards, backwards, left, right, turn clockwise, turn counterclockwise. And then I'll work on the up and down and some other stuff. But I have a good idea of how to like interface this now that I have the drone actually pointing. So let's do it.
March winds and April showers make way for sweet flowers, and then comes autumn and March winds and April showers, romance will soon be ours, an outdoor paradise for two.
All right, so I have whipped up a quick little CSS grid. I put all the buttons here. I'm still going to work on it. I just want to make sure that it still works. So I'm connected to it. I'm going to take off. There it is. I'm going to try the clockwise. It's turning. I'm going to go forward. It seems like it's turning for a long time. The docs say the clockwise 3,600 degrees. Maybe that's 360 degrees. I was wondering if they did it at 10x scale because of you can have fine degree turning, but that looks like it turned around a whole bunch of times. So let's try that with counterclockwise 90 degrees. And clockwise. Let's try that again. Save it. We'll take off. So clockwise. Yeah, that's 90 degrees. So the docs are wrong there. Backwards. That didn't do anything. Open up the terminal. Unknown command, CC. What do the docs say? Oh, clockwise, not CC. I'll fix that. Couple more things I want to do. I want to figure out the flip, the go, and the curve commands. And then I want to spend some time styling it so it doesn't look so terrible. So I'm going to dive into that now. That worked. So I tried it. It's not really that exciting. It just goes in 3 different directions at once. So it's good if you need to if you're trying to record something and you want to just go up and over and to the right while you're trying to record something, that maybe make a nice shot. But other than that, it's not really that exciting. So the last one that we want to try is this curve. So I'm going to try that right now. There we go. Doesn't look like it did anything. Error, radius is too large. Oh, there we go. That'd be nice. We should actually send those to the user. on the front end. Radius is too large. Maybe. So again, all kinds of errors here. Arc's length is too long. Radius is too large. 3 points are collinear. But that one seemed to work, and then it crashed. I'm going to show you what that one looks like. One sec. It got stuck on the roof, and I used the emergency button, and I caught it. So, whew, that was close. So I am just emitting a status when something comes back from the drone. I'm just going to display that right here, so I don't have to look at the errors in the actual console. So we're going to take off. There we go. So it sends the status when it's done. Flip back. Try to do our curve. Fell. 3 points are collinear. It worked. Okay, so you could also have another spot that we could, but I don't mind displaying the error of or the message that's coming from the drone. Another thing we could do is when you send the command, you freeze all of these buttons here. And then when the drone sends the status back that's saying that everything went okay, then you unfreeze the buttons. And what that does is make sure we don't start stacking up commands to the drone, that we only send one command at a time. And then once it's done dealing with that, we can deal with that. So I'm pretty happy with that. What I'm going to do now is just sort of motor through, make this thing look a little bit nicer. There's a little issue with style components and server-side rendering. I'm going to fix that as well. And then I'll meet back here when I'm done that and talk a little bit more about some next steps that could be done with this thing. All right, so this thing is so cool. It's such a neat little drone. IBM is giving away 2,000 of them. I think this is the kind of stuff that initially got me excited about coding, because it's something that you can get and you can just sort of hack away at it and have some fun with it and build something where, especially as like, I'm just a web developer and I build websites, but it's fun to be able to take my skills and apply them somewhere else where it really wasn't all that much work because we were just pinging data to this thing and bringing it back and displaying it on the page. So huge thanks to IBM. I'm going to talk about them real quick before we take it on one final drive. They're giving away actually 2,000 of them. This says 1,500, but they just upped it because this thing is getting so popular, which is really cool. So IBM, who you probably have heard of, they're doing some really cool stuff lately. Specifically, they have all kinds of APIs and things like IBM Watson, which allows you to do machine learning. So one thing that we didn't do on this actual drone is that there's a camera and you can actually get the data feed off of this thing. I've taken some looks into it. Specifically with JavaScript, it seems a little bit hard, but via your phone or via some Python script, maybe some other stuff, there's a lot of demos up there on GitHub of it actually working. You could capture some actual photos or some videos off the device, save them to your computer, and then IBM has all kinds of like visual recognition stuff built into Watson Studio where you can upload your photos, you can hook into their API, and it will start giving you data back immediately. So they've shown me some examples where you could fly this drone over a bunch of houses and detect which houses are burned down, or you could use this to detect what people are in, or you could, somebody used it as just fly it over top of the parking spaces and let me know where there is. So when you have the power of something like Watson behind the actual photos and behind the actual video, you're able to get a lot of like computer power for relatively cheap or free if you just want to try it out on IBM Watson Studio. They've got a whole bunch of examples up here where they're trying to upload some photos of this. These obviously aren't from the drone, but it'd be able to detect what are houses, what are dogs, what are cats, you name it. You could even make that hot dog, not hot dog app that was from Silicon Valley. So make sure you sign up for the drone giveaway. Hopefully you will win one and be able to try out the code that I wrote on it. They are going to be announcing them both via email. So if you win, they'll email you, or they're going to be doing it live on Twitch. So I'll put the link to that below as well. So huge shout out to IBM for sending me over this drone and making able that I could just play around with this thing for a couple days and build some really cool stuff. Again, I remember when I first got into really getting into JavaScript, I was doing some stuff with the webcam and face detection. And that's really where I remember having so much fun, and my skills progressed a whole lot at that point because I was able to leverage other people's technology to build something that I never thought I'd be able to do. So check them on out. IBM has a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm just taking a look at my notes here. They have, it's not the same IBM that you probably grew up with. They're doing some really neat stuff. They have some really cool services. So check all that out below. Other than that, let's get this thing flying. I'm going to set up a camera in my office and start flying this thing around just using the remote that we have here. All right, here we go. I've pointed the drone north so that it looks like this. So let's take off. Down. All right, I've switched all these to 50 centimeters. So I'm going to attempt to put it right through the circle light. So let's see if we can do that. Go for it, go for it. I did it. I'm the best drone pilot, JavaScript drone pilot I've ever seen. That was thrilling. I think we should try it outside. So I'm in the park here. Got a laptop stand. Theoretically, this thing should go like, I don't know, 30 meters or something like that. So as long as the Wi-Fi from my laptop can reach the drone, or vice versa, it should be good. So let's give it a shot. All right, so I've got it to go 4 meters at a time. Let's go and see how this thing does. Still connected. Take off. All right. Let's get it going. Up, and away. We're at 5 meters high. Whoa, it's way up there. Gonna go over 10. Looks like it's stuck on 10. I think that might be the limit how high it can go. That's pretty high. Let's try a flip. I keep clicking the wrong. I'm gonna land it. All right, I'm gonna try and do this thing once more. And to take off, a lot of people in the park are looking at me. I'm gonna go up 4 meters. Try to flip it. Woohoo! Flipping, working just fine. And land. Beautiful. That was really fun. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Make sure you like and subscribe, and hopefully you can grab one of these own by yourself and grab my code base. And there's so much more that I possibly would like to do it. Programming flight paths, getting video to working, maybe some advanced like voice commands to make the drone fly and whatnot. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me know. I'm at WesBoss on Twitter, Instagram, and let me know if you enjoyed it. See ya.